The Mojave Desert is vast, rugged, and untamed. At the same time, it has a beauty that can hardly be described by words. Still, for those taking Route 66 to California during the days of the Dust Bowl, such as the fictional Joad family created by John Steinbeck in his book The Grapes of Wrath, it was an ominous journey. And for those who took the journey, it says a great deal about their character, but perhaps it says even more about the character of those who built the towns in the desert and who still remain. I hope that you'll take the time to watch this video as I introduce you to one of those towns in the video that I call Holding On. Needles, California is a small desert town located near the western banks of the Colorado River, encompassing approximately 31 square miles and housing approximately 5,000 residents. But while its size is small, a lot about it is big. The town of Needles, which is named after the jagged mountain peaks to its southeast, is known for its record high temperatures during the summer months and also for its large history. Like many towns and cities located in the western United States, Needles was a product of the development of the railroad and was originally a tent city for its workers back in the late 1800s. That tent city, however, rapidly changed because of railroad travel, and Needles turned into a boomtown, especially after the establishment of Route 66 in 1926, which brought it even more traffic. Like many small towns along Route 66, Needles, California had its own struggles once Interstate 40 was officially opened and Route 66 was decertified. Needles, California once thrived as a gateway to the Mojave Desert, offering travelers food, lodging, and services in preparation for the ominous journey ahead. But today, Needles, California faces its own ominous journey, a journey brought about by economic struggles and the political struggles of the state that claims its territory. Needles, California, as it has always been, is a western town with a rugged pioneering spirit. Many businesses along this strip downtown, for instance, are alive and well and are a testimony to that. However, there is also an abundance of testimony to the reality of the results brought on by a changing economy in hard times. Despite its struggles, though, Needles, California is proudly holding on and moving forward, not only in its efforts to survive, but in its efforts to preserve not only its own, but America's rich history as well. And while there are many examples of this that grace the streets of this town, I want to highlight this video by introducing you to two of them, the El Garces and the Wagon Wheel Restaurant. The El Garces was hailed as the crown jewel of the Fred Harvey Company, a company established in the late 1880s to cater to the needs of railroad passengers. This highly successful chain of restaurants, hotels, and train stations across the western United States came to be known for its high standards, particularly for the service that was provided by the waitresses who were known as Harvey Girls, a much sought after and highly celebrated form of employment. These Harvey Girls were so much celebrated, in fact, that Hollywood produced a movie about them called The Harvey Girls that starred Judy Garland. Tragically, however, when train travel began to decline, many of Fred Harvey's restaurants, hotels, and train stations began closing their doors, and the buildings were either left to decay or were torn down. Thanks to the rugged pioneering spirit of Needles, though, many fought to preserve this grand dame of American history, and though it no longer serves up what it did to the travelers of yesteryear, it proudly stands as a reminder that there are things that we must not and cannot forget. There are many remnants of the past that are alive and well in Needles, California, such as the Wagon Wheel Restaurant, a personal favorite of mine and also of my old friend and Route 66 legend, Bob Waldemar. The building was constructed in the 1950s and opened as Lynn's Broiler until it reopened in 1978 as the Wagon Wheel Restaurant, the name that it has successfully operated under ever since, serving up hot food and great service to both locals and travelers in the true Route 66 tradition. As you can see, the atmosphere in here is warm and cozy. The service is great enough to make even Fred Harvey jealous. And the food is, well, it's just something that has to be experienced. Needles, California is a town that is proudly holding on. It is holding on to its rich heritage, and it is also holding on to hope, the hope for a future. And it is these two things that are at the very heart of the journey of Van on 66. First of all, I believe that America has a rich history that cannot and must not be forgotten. Secondly, it is the mission of Van on 66 to send the message that there is hope, and that hope can be found in the God of the Bible. To put it in contemporary terms, He is a sanctuary city, the safe place to run to. He is the hope for America. He is the hope for you, and He is the hope for me.